Hi, Normal First Family. On behalf of the staff and the pandemic response team, I want to share with you an update on our reopening plan. In addition to this video where I will explain all the details, you can also scroll down on the email and find a link to the document that I will be reading from. Last week, the CDC issued new guidance regarding masks for those who have been fully vaccinated. Both the state of Illinois and the Illinois Great Rivers Conference of the United Methodist Church also came out with statements following those CDC guidelines. In addition, as you know, the state of Illinois last week, May 14th, moved to the bridge phase. Now, these new guidelines have opened up possibilities for loosening some of our restrictions. So this past week, both the Normal First Pandemic Response Team and our staff met to discuss the next steps. But before I share with you those next steps, I want to share with you a little bit about the unique nature of the church. Now, broad recommendations from outside agencies are super helpful, and we read them and apply them. But we're also aware that the church is in a unique situation. There's some unique qualities of a church and other religious organizations. You know, the church is one of the few places where there are potentially 5 generations of people that gather together. We can have an infant in worship, and we can have a 95-year-old great-grandmother or great-grandfather. We can have people of all ages gathering together in our sanctuary. The church is different in that way than from a school or a business or a restaurant. And this means that we have a larger number of people, larger percentage of people who are coming to this space who might be vulnerable or who might not be eligible for the vaccine. And because one of our main goals as a community is to care for one another, we take all of that into consideration as we are making these plans for reopening. So I know our steps towards reopening may feel like we're going as quick as a turtle, but they are done so recognizing the uniqueness of who we are as a faith community. So I want to say again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. And before I give you these specifics about the reopening, I want to share one more thing. I want you to know that the online worship services will continue. There are no plans to discontinue those worship services, so that will continue to be available on our website on Saturday and Sunday and following. So if that is the best way for you to worship with us, we certainly hope that you will continue to do so. Now on to the reopening plans. After discussion, again, with the pandemic response team and our Normal First staff, we have determined that these are the next 2 steps to move us towards fully reopening. So these last 2 weekends of May, beginning this weekend and then Memorial Day weekend, we will increase the number of people in our sanctuary to 100. We believe that we can continue to be safe and practice social distancing even if we have 100 people in the sanctuary. We will ask you to continue to make registration or register ahead of time, either by calling the church office or by signing up online. That way we can make sure that we don't exceed our capacity at 100, and we can also make sure that we have accurate information for contact tracing if necessary. There will no longer be assigned seats. Thank you for your patience as we have directed you every week to a particular seat, but we have decided to eliminate that, and we will ask you when you arrive simply to select a seat that is socially distant from others and hopefully a place that you will feel comfortable sitting. Every other pew will continue to be roped off. And I believe that, I hope that you will find this to be a nice next step for our reopening. This weekend and next weekend, we will continue the current mask policy, which means we ask everybody to be masked the entire time that they are in the building. We ask you to wear your masks the entire time that you're in the building. Beginning the first weekend of June, June 5th and June 6th, we will implement these next steps towards reopening. We will ask you to continue to wear your mask as you enter the building. And once you are seated, if you are fully vaccinated, then you are free to take your mask off while you remain seated. You don't have to remove your mask, but you are free to do so if you're fully vaccinated. We will ask then at the end of the worship service that you put your mask back on before you move about the sanctuary. So we want to make sure that any time that anybody is moving around the sanctuary, we would like everybody still to be masked. Another change, and this is one of our bigger changes that will begin the first weekend of June, is that we will resume congregational singing. I know, that's great. A lot of you have shared with me the feeling of loss, not being able to sing together in the sanctuary. But please note that anyone who chooses to sing will need to wear their mask. If your mask is off during the service, please make sure to put your mask back on while you were singing, even if you're fully vaccinated. This will make sure that we care for and protect the people around us. And also with these changes, we realize that it may make some of you uncomfortable to be seated near somebody who doesn't have a mask on. And so we will be designating a quarter of the sanctuary. The second half of one side of the sanctuary will be designated for folks who want to keep their masks on the entire worship service. So if you prefer to make sure that you sit around people who are fully masked the entire time, then you might choose to sit in this section. It will be clearly marked, and the ushers can assist you in finding a seat as well. We'll continue to ask you to make reservations as we go forward in June, again, through the Sign Up Genius link or by calling the church office. Also on June 6th, this is really exciting, our children will be gathering together to begin some children's ministry again on Sunday mornings. And so parents, as you arrive to worship, you can meet up with Miss Jill and the other volunteers outside near the parking lot, and your kids will have an opportunity to be together and to begin this summer of worship together. I guess it's not just worship, it'll be worship and play and interaction and actually kind of reconnecting with their friends whom they haven't potentially seen for over a year. We will continue to ask the children to wear masks as well. Thank you for loving your neighbors by following these guidelines. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. We are so grateful for all of your hard work and your patience during these difficult times. And we appreciate your patience as we move forward. You know, we can see that the end is coming, at least for our community, where we'll have a chance to be a little bit back to normal. But as we do so, I ask you to continue to pray for the people around the world whose lives are very difficult right now, and the spread of the virus is getting worse and worse. And so we want to continue to hold them in our thoughts and our prayers. Thank you, Normal First. It's always great to be with you. Look forward to worshiping with you. Look forward to moving into the summer with all the new opportunities we have. Be well, and God bless.